Okay. Seems to be live. I hope it's live. Let's do that. Well, as long as it's recording something anyway, I'll be able to archive it. That's the important thing. Alright, so last time we... Well, let's just quickly show off our handiwork from the last part. Still wish this screen wasn't as long as it is. But yes, last time we did this. Yes, this took us an hour to get an array of 20 numbers arranged in a random order. But now that that's done, we can actually begin the really fun stuff. So this is just the basic seed, I guess, for our dungeon. But let's talk a little bit about the project before we get into it. So I do have a design document here. It's very incomplete, but it's a starting point, and I guess specifically what we're interested in here is going to be dung, which I regret nothing. Dungeon generation, there we go. Okay. So this is what we're going to be doing today. It's trying to get this part all finished. So we have, the important thing here, we have 7 different kinds of rooms, which, if we check over here, you see we have 20 rooms here, 12 monster rooms, boss, statue, 2 tomes, 2 treasures, entrance and exit, 20. What is actually in the rooms doesn't really matter. All that's important is that we have 20 different rooms and that each room has a unique ID. Each room will be disconnected from adjacent rooms and connected via transfer events. However, if we look at these transfer events, where is it? Right, I've already messed with this. So direct designation, you can... Yeah, with direct designation, you can just pick a spot that you want to go to. But designation with variables, we instead actually get a little bit more control here. This is not good, what I've got here. I'm going to fix this up in a moment. But anyway, we're going to be using the room IDs, figure this out. And we're going to have the rooms in a 5x4 grid like this. So room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. The order of these rooms is going to be different from the numbers here. I think I have this put here. The first entry is the entrance, the second is the exit, third and fourth are tomes, etc. Or treasure. I don't know which order I'm deciding I'm going to do these in. I guess I'll probably 3 and 4 will be treasure because I need to follow the IDs in sequence here. Okay. And as for the X and Y coordinates, we're going to be doing hard-coded values for that for now, so that we don't have to worry about it. Okay. So now that that's been dealt with, or that we've been talked about, let's check a few things here. ID 3 for entrance, 4 for exit, 6 for treasure. Uh-oh. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, 5 is cave. It's just a placeholder. Why did I do that? That's so bad. Okay, well, we go back to our document here. No, let's do it this way. For the cave, the map IDs are as follows. Entrance is 3, exit is 4. I'm not going to be typing this all out right now. Treasure 1 is 5. Tome 1. Autocorrect. Y. 7 and 8. 5 and 6. This is going to be 1 and 2. That's fine. Statue. So I've already screwed this up. This is why I need these numbers written down, because I can't be making mistakes like this when I'm actually coding this. This is actually so bad that I kind of want to just delete this. This is going to cause us a huge amount of trouble. What happens if I delete this room? Will these other IDs move down? Afraid that was going to happen. I can't undo it. That's fine. That's fine, because we'll get something much nicer here. So let's create no. New map ID 3, good, cave. This is going to be dungeon. It's fine. I think that's all we really need. And then here, new for cave entrance. Okay. Good. Cave entrance. Let's remap. Oh, I needed to set this to dungeon. All right, let's just set this up. All right. Actually, what we want is, we want to be using this one. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, okay, those are even on each side. This is not even, so we're going to do that. And I guess we're actually only going to have it be 1. That's fine. And right click to quickly change this. Okay. So with this now, we have a perfectly symmetrical room, which is fine. So it's going to be the entrance. And there's nothing else that we really need to do with this, right? Good. So control, paste, exit. $17, $18, $19, $20. Entrance. So let's do it in the same order that we have it in here, referring to this. So this is going to be tome, treasure, boss, teleporter, monster. Okay, so this is going to be tome 1, 2, treasure 1, treasure 2. Next up is boss and then teleporter. cross teleporter. This is going to be monster space 1. We're going to copy that, make our life a little bit easier here. So a little bit annoying, but we'll be fine. Don't paste there. Come on, get with it. Okay, good. So entrance, there was one more thing that we had here, and that was some stairs. And we're just going to put it in the middle arbitrarily. Here, quick transfer. Right, so this shows how the system normally works, right? Normally your transfers take effect like that. However, with this one we've modified it. So this first number, temp, counter, and invert counter, and inverted counter. These are going to put us the coordinates. So this is the map ID, and these are the X and Y coordinates for where we are. I'm not sure why I'm using counter or inverted counter for this. That is a mistake. I most certainly should not be. But just proof of concept that that does in fact work. Always need to test. Good. You're here. And we're out. So both methods work just fine. Okay. So what's going to be happening now? Looking at this, first of all, I don't need to record everything because now these are all in sequence properly, which is why I didn't want the ID here, because what I want is for accessing the ID, we're going to be starting at 4 and we're going to be going to 23. For the cave, the map IDs are as follows: 4, 23. Oh, I just pushed a button that I probably shouldn't have. Yep. Well, that's a cause for concern, definitely. Do not push. It's a good thing I noticed that. Yeah, this button, I use it to change the scene in my OBS, which... Okay, that's actually kind of scary. I need to be aware of that. Okay, so for the cave, the map IDs are as follows: 4 to 23. Entrance equals 4, exit equals 5, tome 1 equals 6, etc. All the way to monster 12 equals 23. We wouldn't actually have an etc there, would we? So we're going from values 4 to 23 here, and we need to assign each of those to one of these. So again, I can probably just delete a bunch of this stuff. We're going to have an array like this. So what this represents is 1 is the entrance, 12 is the exit. So on this arrangement, we would have the entrance is here, the exit is here, tome, tome, treasure, treasure. 19 would be the boss over here. 18 would be the teleporter room. And then everything else that I didn't mention is going to be a monster room. Okay. Now, as far as actually having this be balanced and provide a good experience, I'm not at all concerned about that right now. I just want to get these rooms linked up like this somehow. Once I've got that, then I will worry about actually making this a little bit more interesting. Okay. So we've got that. Let's just go back to Dentown. You do not need those bits of data anymore. That was for testing stuff that we did before. Okay, we're not touching that. All right, so in cave entrance, we want an event. And this event, initialization, what this event is going to do, it's going to be on auto run, is it's going to look at see what we've got here. Level 1 array. Never mind everything that I just said. That is not true. We already have level 1 arrays saved, right? Anyway, we will have an initialization here that's on auto run, probably. But is this being saved into level 1? Set variable, script, set variable. Yes, this is saved into variable 11. Okay. So never mind, we don't actually need that. So we've already got everything initialized. Okay, so at this point then, let's create a transfer event. Whoops, we'll start by going quick event creation, transfer. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna, oops, transfer event. This is where we're gonna be changing it. So the map ID okay, we've got a few things, a few variables that we're gonna need here. Sort out. I should really sort this out before I try to mess with this. So for these variables, we are going to need to first of all find where we are. So let's have current location, destination location. Okay, that's what we need. Well, obviously that's going to be destination location. These are going to be map X and map Y. So there's a few things that we need to do. We need to determine the destination, and we need to know which X and Y coordinates we're going to send to. The X and Y coordinates are actually going to be really easy. So let's just do that first. Right, whoops, let's not do that. We double click to create a new thing. Conditional branch, if Player is facing up. If player is facing up, that means that we're going north. Right? Because if we look at these, there's only one way you can be facing in any of these 4 squares. So if they're facing up, well, actually what we're going to do is we're going to call common event number 1. And in common event number 1, x and y transfer variables. We're going to put it on none because we're just running it when it's said to run. So here's where we're going to put this, because this is going to be, we're just going to call the same event in all 4 directions. So here we're just going to check, are we facing up? If we are, control variable map x equals 0, control variable map y equals 0. Okay. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Facing down, okay. It's facing left. Facing right. So now we just need to get these values, which we can do easily enough here. We can see down here where our variables are. Because I'm paranoid, I need to check now. Yep, we are actually recording still. So where do we want to actually spawn when we enter the room? So if we're going from here and we're going north, we don't want to spawn right here. We'll spawn on this square or this square. This square would feel more consistent with these, because we don't have the extra weight. That'll be fine. Yep. Yeah, we'll start here. For that matter, I could have the transfer events be in these locations if I really wanted to. I think that would throw people off. They wouldn't be expecting it. This would feel more natural. Have the transfers on the very end. So anyway, if we go up, the coordinates that we're going to go to are 8 and 10. Right? Because start at 0, 0 all the way to 16, 12. Okay. So you go 8 and 10. So that's x equals 8, y equals 10. Okay. If we're facing down, it's going to be 8 and 2. 8 and 2. Let's see, next one is facing left, which is going to end up here, which is going to be 15 and 6. 15, 6. And finally, if we're facing right, going out this way, will appear here, which is going to be 1 and 6. Okay, so that should handle all of our x and y transfer variables. So now when we click on here, common event x and y transfer variables, this has been called x and y will now be set appropriately based on the way that we were facing. So map x and map y are taken care of. Destination location, this is the one that's going to be a lot of work. So to set up destination location, I should probably actually just put this in another common event rather than having to copy it between all of these. So I will. That's what we're going to do. Copy common event 2, apply. This is going to be destination map ID. Okay. Destination map ID. Okay. So we've done both common events and this is good. So now we just have to be able to find this value somehow. So to find that value, first let's look at Full variable current location equals map ID. That is easy enough. Current location equals map ID. Is that what we want? Yes, because we don't care about... No, that isn't what we want, because we don't care about which of these rooms we're in. We care about where our coordinate is. I almost wonder if I should have an initialization event that just resets the current event variable constantly, like the first time you step into each room. Or the first turn that you spend within each room every time you step into it. That would be one way of doing it. Another way, though, would just be to access those arrays that we had before. So current location equals map ID. That's going to be fine. Map ID depends on all of this. So let's say that we're currently at location 1. How would we know that we were at location 1? Probably by using some scripting. So we have these numbers saved in the array. We can use the map ID to find where they are. So current location is map ID, but we need to convert that. We need to convert that into a coordinate ID. Okay. So we'll just run a loop here. That's what we'll do. We'll do a loop. In this loop, well, first of all, remember the array goes from 0 to 19. The positions in the array go from 0 to 19. But our numbers go from 4 to 23. The first thing that we actually want to do, we want to take our current location of the map ID, and we're going to subtract 4 from it. And this is why it's really important that these all be contiguous. This is why I really didn't want the cave in the middle. So now, our map ID corresponds to the position it is within the array from 0 to 19, rather than the position that it is in this chart. And this is important. This is a very important trick, because this means if we have a second level to the dungeon with IDs from, I don't know, 24 to 43, we can just subtract 24 and do the exact same thing without having to recode all of this. And we'll have the second level of the dungeon still working fine. So making it modular is part of the goal here, because we're not going to be stopping with one level of the dungeon, but you know, first things first. We'll get the one level done first, but we'll make sure that our system will be iterable throughout the whole development process here. Okay, so we have this map ID, we have a loop. Control variable. Counter equals 0, and actually we'll put that out here, outside of the loop as well. If variable current location equals 0, okay, we'll just do that for now. So if current location equals 0, that's not what we want, because what we want to do is we want this to be, So again, we're using array index. I mean, we could be using all sorts of variables here. We're just going to use temp for this. Temp is a variable that I just kind of reuse for all these little calculations. It keeps constantly being overwritten. As long as you don't start with an add or subtract operator, as long as you always begin with set on your temp variable, then you can do whatever you want with it and keep reusing the same temp variable for everything. Assuming that you don't have multiple processes both running temp at the same time, but that's not going to happen. I will be running this in a parallel process. So control variable temp equals 0. What I actually want to do here is I want to refer to this information, and I want temp to equal the position in counter. So array, you know what? I have an array index variable, which is exactly what this is for. So let's just do that. Array index 0 to 19. Okay. If array index if current location, which is map ID minus 4, equals the array index, the value at that index, then that means that we have found where we are. Okay. So control variables, this is actually going to be scripting. So let's go script. And this is going to be, where is it? $, game variables. Dot set value. And we want to set it to the index. So index the second element and set it to 10, like that. So no, what we're going to do is we're going to go access variable, whatever. We'll figure out what that variable is in a moment. This equals let's not have a typo. That's going to be frustrating to debug later if I forget about it. So let's just fix it when I notice it. Equals game variables dot value, and this is going to be 11, which is the cave array, and then at position y. Okay. Oh, and semicolon. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're setting the value of what? We want to set temp, which is 1. Okay. Variable 1, this is temp. So temp value is now equal to the value at 11 array index, which is 4. Convert that to 4. Okay, so game variables set value 1 equals game variables value 11, 4. Okay, so temp has just been set to the array index that we're currently looking at of the level 1 cave array. Okay. If temp equals current location, So that's the conversion we did, right? Current location. Current location will be following in here. So yeah, current location. If temp equals current location, that would mean that our current location with the offset is equal to the value of the array we just found. That would mean that we're at our current location. That would mean that temp is in fact our current location. So in that case, temp equals the current location. Right, sorry, just collecting my thoughts. Okay, so yeah, the whole point of this is we're trying to find the array index. So, you know, really I should have done these from 0 to 19 instead of from 1 to 20. Because now I'm going to have to add an extra step into everything. But then I'm going to have to mess with the other stuff I've done as well. This is a case of me screwing up and then being stubborn and sticking with it instead of actually fixing it. So we're going to stick with these values, but this would be so much better from 0 to 19. All right. Learning for future projects, I guess. If temp equals current location, what that means is that array index plus 1. That means that array index plus 1 is our current number here. So we're going to do that. Array index plus equals 1. And control break loop. If not, well, then we're actually just gonna go here. And then we're gonna increment it anyway and redo the whole thing. So this plus equals is telling the loop to iterate through the array. And then finally, we're going to do a little bit of error checking here. Conditional branch, if variable array index equals 20, because this means that we went from 0 to 19 and we didn't find anything. Show text could not find destination room ID. Well, could not find current room ID. We're not at the, could not find current room ID. And then we'll break the loop again, just to avoid getting stuck in an infinite loop. Okay. So using this, we now have, assuming that I've set everything up correctly, which is a big assumption to make. I should really be testing stuff. I should be finding ways to test this as I go. Well, I feel like we're almost done though, so that's going to be the next step. Okay, so we've found this, we've found the current room ID, or we've hit an error. We'll assume that we haven't hit this for now. Because if we hit this, it means that something else is wrong, so we're just going to assume that everything else is right for now until we hit this, and then we'll go back and check. So current location is equal to temp, etc. Then we get the array index comes out. Okay, so we have our array index. Okay, and we're out of the loop. One way or another, we're out of the loop with an array index value of something. Okay, so now we have x and y transfer, so it depends on which way we're facing. So the nice thing about this being set up the way that it is, this visualization here, is that I can use this to determine what the next room ID is going to be. So let's say we are facing north. Character is facing up. Player, I suppose. Not a lot of options. Player is facing up. That means that the room that we're moving to is going to be 5 less than our current room, right? If that's the case, array index minus equals 5. And again, conditional branch, if array index equals is less than or equal to 0. We're going to find current room ID. This is going to be room ID out of bounds. Okay. Room ID out of bounds. If player is facing up, subtract 5. And if we get less than 1, that means that 5 minus 5 was 0. Well, that's out of bounds. That's not there. Okay. Good. Copy. Paste. Facing down. Same deal. Only this time, we're adding 5. So if we're in room 2, we go to room 7. If we're in room 18, we go to 23. That's a problem. We should never get above 20. So if this is greater than or equal to 21, then we're out of bounds. Okay, good. Okay, and now if we're facing left, we want to subtract 1. We're going to subtract 1. And for the out of bounds on this one, we don't actually have an easy way of doing this. So 5 goes down to 4, 4 goes down to 3, 3 goes down to 2, 2 goes down to 1. 6 goes down to 5. That's the issue. So what we don't want is we don't want an array index where it divided by 5 leaves 0 remainder. I'm pretty sure that's what we don't want here. So if array index I mean, we could do equals 5. That's not what we want to do, though. We can check for this, but yeah, this is the issue now because I need another temp variable to calculate this because I can't do an operation here. What I really want is array index mod 5 equals 0. That's a problem. If array index equals 0, that's also a problem. It equals 0 if it equals 5, 10, 15, 20. It's not perfect. Well, this is just me being silly. So instead, let's just copy paste, find a new variable. This is also really dangerous what I'm doing here. I'm not doing anything with variable 2. Counter is just going to be another temp variable. Okay. In fact, I could probably just call it that. Mod Okay, so this sets array index to be subtracting 1. So let's say we're in room 6, subtract 1, we're now in room 5. But we shouldn't make that transfer. So now what we do is we go mod counter mod 5. What that means is we divide it by 5 and we look at the remainder. In this case, the remainder of 5 divided by 5 is 0. If counter equals 0, then room ID is out of bounds. Okay, that should nicely sort this out. And now facing to the right, it's going to be the same deal, only instead in this case, we're going to be adding 1. Oh boy, that would have been really bad. We're going to be adding 1. But if mod 5 equals 1, we're out of bounds, right? So if we go plus 10, 10 plus 1 equals 11. Divide it by 5, we get 2, remainder 1. Remainder 1, so 11 mod 5 is 1. That's equal to, so if it's equal to 1, then room is out of bounds. Okay. So now, apply. Let's just save what we've done. So now, having done all of that, array index should now be corresponding to the value of the room that we want. Now we're going to set variable. Which variable do we want here? We want destination location, which is 8. So variable 8. Oh. Variable 8 is equal to same index. We're still going to the array of the index. Wherever we've ended up from here, that should, this value here should be our new location on the chart. And then we are extracting the value, the room ID from here. And then, because this is the cave, we have to do one final operation where we take the destination location that we have and we have to add, as it goes from 1 to 20, we want it to go from 4 to 23, we have to add 3 to it. And that should give us the correct room ID for what we have over there. However, there are a couple of issues with this. First of all, we have all those out of bounds. The game might crash if we hit an out of bounds. I'm not sure how it'll deal with that. But anyway, as far as this goes, provided we don't hit out of bounds, this should work. Okay. Well, we can catch it. We can catch this. So let's go conditional branch if variable destination location this should be between 4 and 23, right? So if it is less than 4, what do we do? Here we have label no transfer, label no transfer. Show text, there we go. There is no room in this direction. Okay. Here, jump to label, no transfer. And greater than 23. Okay. So based on all of this, we should have this set up now so that it's looking at our orientation, deciding the x and y variables. Then it's looking at our current map location and our orientation to determine which direction we're trying to leave, and then accessing the destination location from that. And then it's checking to make sure the destination location is in fact somewhere it should be trying to transfer us to. And finally, it transfers us to this location unless we were outside of the range of 4 to 23, at which point it should skip to here and say this. Now, when you have a transfer event, do you continue to play the stuff that happens after it? I don't know. Whoops, we want it here. Does stuff continue after transfer event? I guess I don't actually need this because I don't need this at all because I'll just see it here. Right? Yeah, so actually I don't need this at all. So what's going to happen is I will get to the next room and then it'll say after having transferred, there's no room in this direction. Okay, and this is set up because I've set this up with common events like this, and because it's extracting the ID, I can use this exact transfer event. I can use it, the exact same event, for all 4 coordinates of all of these rooms. Okay. Let's see how horribly I've broken everything. Okay, it hasn't crashed yet. Let's go visit this guy, see what the dungeon array looks like. Alright, so based on this, we know that the entrance should be at 14. Means there should be no out of bounds error no matter what we do. Okay. So let's go here. So let's go up to room 9 and see what happens. Reference error, invalid left-hand side in assignment. Okay. Now, well, the nice thing about the way I've set this up is I don't actually have to, this is the real beauty of common events. I don't actually have to change any of this. Like I can just I don't have to delete these and then recopy this event, is what I'm trying to say. I can just modify the common event and then everything should be fine and it'll go through all of them. Okay, so transfer x and y first. Let's looking at this. Control variables equals whatever. Okay, there is absolutely no reason that this is going to cause any kind of issue, I don't think. So really the suspicious things here are the way I've done these scripts, which I do 2 calls. I do set value equals that, and the top one is script Okay, let's open that up. So did I do something wrong here? Should be able to do this, right? Should be able to do this. Okay, spelling. Is there anything that I spelled wrong here? $, game variables with an S, dot, set value, capital V, capital V. Set value is fine, and then in brackets, I have just set variable. Ah. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong entry here. We're not doing an array. I have control variable. I need a second variable here for set value. Okay. So I need a comma. I need a comma here. And then the second value is this. There we go. And then obviously we don't have an equal sign there. All right, so that was just an error in the way that I was looking at this. Let's just move this over here. Yeah. So I was using an equal sign when I shouldn't have been. That should be okay. And we'll try this again. Comma V. Right, because that was 11 and 4. Yep. And I don't need spaces in here, I don't think, since I'm pretty sure that white space just gets stripped out by the compiler. All right, let's try this again. And I'm going to deliberately choose a direction where we're not going to get an out of bounds, just to make sure that something is working. Oh, we got 14 again. Okay. Yeah. Same location. So let's go up to room 9. Could not find current room ID. Okay. There is no room in this direction. Okay, we traveled. Now obviously there's no scripting here, so I don't actually know where I am. I might be able to find that if I go into the tools. But anyway, we have answered a few important questions with that test. So first of all, if array index equals 20, so again, our script might be suspect here. So what that tells me is that we went into here. Obviously we didn't hit an out of bounds. We did go to another room, but we could not find the current room ID. Okay. Could not find the current room ID. This means that we went through the entire thing. Well, let's back up. Let's look at all of this again. So let's go through this line by line and make sure we understand exactly what we've done here. Current location equals map ID. Okay, there should be no issues with this whatsoever. Map ID is just going to be whatever our room ID is here. Current location minus equals 4. Okay. This is ID 4. That means that we're hitting current location is equal to 0. Oh. Oh, again, this is why I should have gone 0 to 19. There is no room 0. So we're looking for room 0. Of course we're not going to find it. And that's why we go to the very end and then we just teleport to some random room, apparently. I don't know. Not technically random, but... Good, okay, well we found the problem. The problem is actually here. Need to subtract 3 from current location. Okay. And current location is only used for a comparison. We're only looking at it to see if we are where we should be. Okay, so there should be no issues there. And we don't actually refer to that variable anywhere else, do we? So changing this shouldn't mess anything else up. Also, I haven't commented my code. It's a potential issue. All right. And let's look at this again. Where are we? 16. Okay, so we can go north still. That'll be fine. That will be fine. Could not find current room ID. There is no room in this direction. Okay. I find myself curious. I am actually going to deliberately go out of bounds just to see what happens. I know I should only be testing one thing at a time, but 11, that's fine. Okay, so do not go to the left. Could not find current room ID. There is no room in this direction. Yeah, okay, so something is going wrong with our logic. That should not have happened. Okay. So current location equals map ID. Okay, so current location equals 4. Good. Current location equals 4. Minus equals 3, so we're down to 1. 1 is referring to the value. Well, okay, let's not say what it should refer to. Let's look at what it is referring to, and then figure out if that's what we actually want later. Array index equals 0 because we start with the 0th element of the array. That's what we want. Okay, game variables, set value of temp. We're going to set temp to be equal to the 0th index of the array. There's going to be some random number from 1 to 20. Okay, if that number happens to equal to 1, right, that's what temp equals current location would be. So if we happen to have spawned in this corner as 1, then we break the loop after adding 1 to the current index, the array index. Why are we adding 1 to array index here? We want our array to be equal to our current position, right? Because this is what we get out of this. If temp equals current location, then array index should be like what is this telling us? This tells us that our current array index is in fact the location of the place where we are. Why are we adding 1? I really don't understand why we're adding 1 here. I don't think we need to. Before I muck with that, I am going to check the rest of the code though. Here, array index plus equals 1. Yes, we did not find the right number. So now we're adding 1 to this, and then we're going to go back and check the temp variable against the next element in the array. And we're going to keep doing this until we get to the very end. Now, once we get to the very end, well, once we have a match, and we presumably don't do this, we go to the end here, end of the loop. If we get to 20, that means we did not find the right value anywhere from 0 to 19. We don't find current room ID. That is a problem. That means that we've screwed up our code somewhere. Like anytime this plays, it means that something went wrong and the code didn't work right. This is just error checking. Okay, so and then we break and also breaking the loop to make sure that we don't get stuck in an infinite loop. So we should never see this message. So I'm pretty sure we just want to get rid of this. So what happens once we have the array index? If we're facing up, current location, so in this case, we are manipulating the array index and not the location because the array index refers to where you are on this grid. This is supposed to be array index. That looks good to me. And we have all of the directions. Okay, we'll try it again from there. Try it again from there. Okay, so where are we? 10. That's fine. So we can go north from there. Should be okay. Could not find current room ID. That's a problem. There's no room in this direction. Also, that's going to display regardless of whether there's a room in this direction or not. Let's try this again with an out of bounds and see what happens. Because if we go out of bounds, it shouldn't send us anywhere, right? 2, do not go north. Okay, so we're going to go north. We're going to deliberately go out of bounds. Could not find current room ID. Still go. There's no room in this direction. Okay. I don't know what's going on here exactly. This is a problem. Initialize variables. Okay. So the purpose of this loop is not to find the current. Find the array index corresponding to the current location. Okay, you know what? I want the comments to pop out a little bit more. We're going to do that. Just to make this a little bit easier to read. And this is going to be determine destination room based on current location and orientation. Okay, and that's what these four things do. And then finally, return the ID of the destination room. And that's what these two lines of code do. Okay, so there's an error somewhere in all of this, probably. Let's look at this again. Destination location is where we're going. Jump to label, no transfer. So we should have been hitting these, and we didn't. Jumping to label, no transfer should skip the transfer. And then play this. Okay, I mean, this looks fine, aside from the fact that this text doesn't... Actually, while thinking about it, let's put that there so that it doesn't play when we do transfer. Just to fix that up a little bit. I mean, that's not the main issue though. The main issue is, well, this was not the main issue, because this worked fine, because when we spawned in the new room, we were spawning in the position that we were expecting to spawn. We went off the side, we spawned where we were expecting to spawn. Okay, so this is fine. So it's just this big mess of an event. This is the one that we need to watch out for. Map ID. Okay, well, there's something we can start doing here. Show text. Backslash v in square brackets variable, backslash v in square brackets variable. Variable is going to be the current room ID is, and we're just going to go through all of this. So 7 is the variable for this. So we're just going to start commenting all of this way so that we can see, actually, should go after the -3. So this should get us, no, it should not go after the -3. So after the -3, we get the corrected room ID, which is what converts us from 4 to 23 to a scale of 1 to 20. Okay, control variable for array index equals 0. That's fine. I don't need to check that because that's just going to tell us that the array is 0. But what we can do, so script I always click on the wrong spot. Okay, so we have this. Game variables 11.4. This is going to be for variable 1. And we are looking at remember that current location is going to be the number revealed to us before we get to this. So corrected room ID is what we are comparing to. And here we have the value at the current array index is we want it to match okay. We are looking for that. That's nice and clear. If this doesn't work, the current array index is, and that's going to be a 4. Current array index is going to be 4. Okay. And then up this a whole lot. Okay, so I just want to check this part. This is the part that I think is most suspect. Let's just check this and see what happens. First of all, where are we? Let's avoid going out of bounds. 10. Okay, we can go north from there. Let's go... I was going to say go south just for the sake of variety, but no, let's be as consistent as possible until we've figured out what's going on here. Current room ID is 4. Okay. Corrected room ID is 1. Good. Entrance is supposed to be 1. So we know that the accessing the room ID is happening correctly. Okay. Current array index is 0. Fantastic. Zero. Wait, we're looking for 0. Why are we looking for 0? We should be looking for 1. Okay, so there's something going on wrong there. That's already told me something's going wrong. Let's just see what happens if we keep going. I see what's going on here. Yep. So the scripting call I made isn't working. That's the issue. Because these numbers are never updating. This is 0 because we haven't initialized it yet. It's just not doing anything. This is 3 because that's what it was before, and every single element of this index of this array is not 3. Okay. So the issue is right there. Okay, so let's look at the array again. Set value Okay, so dot value, what it does. Okay, let's just run through this example here again. Looking at this. So if we type in game variables dot set value 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so variable 1 is now an array with the values of 1, 2, and 3 in it. Then we put game variables dot value 1, 1 equals 10. Right, because 1 is the second value, because starting from 1, starting from 0, because we have two different number systems here, which is kind of a problem, setting it to 10. So game variables dot value, okay, that's fine. Print out, which is the array, which should now be, yeah, okay, console dot log, okay, so this is console log, that's fine. Okay. So how do I access a variable? Because when I'm doing game variables dot value, isn't that this? But it's printing. It should be printing the value of the array. But I want to be printing specifically. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Dentown and we're going to take a look at this. What did I do here? Value. Yeah, this seems to be fine. There's no capital. Wait, why am I doing destination 8 here? No, we should be looking for 7, right? Current location. Oh boy. This isn't the issue at all. The issue is this line of code is not working. We want to set the value of this which was this, right? Variable value. Game variables dot set value. Game variables dot set value 1, and the value that we want to send it to is game variables dot value. Oh, okay, okay. Wow, I feel kind of dumb now. Right, we're not sending it to the 4th index. We're sending it to the index that corresponds to variable 4, which is the array index, which means this needs to be $, game variables dot value 4. Okay. And that's going to actually correspond to array index. Okay, and then we're going to have to do this again here. Yeah. Okay. Try this again. Troubleshooting, man. It's the best part of programming, I swear. Alright, we are, whoops, right, we're in here. We're in location 4. Okay, so we can't go north from here. We want to go, well, anywhere else, that's fine. Go this way. Current room ID is 4. Correct room ID is 1. Okay, that's good. That's working as expected. Current array index is 0. Yes, this is how it starts. Current array index is 4. We're looking for 1. Okay. 14. Still looking for 1. Array index 2 is 6. Okay. 16. 4. Okay. I'm a little bit concerned because this is the array index is 4, but 4 actually refers to 5, which means that we're here or not here. Which means that my interpretation might be off somewhere along the lines. Okay. Direction. Okay. Progress. Yeah, just print out the array. That's fine. Okay. So I don't feel so I fixed one issue. Could not find current room ID. We did not get that. We did not get that message. Okay, that's good. We did not get a room ID out of bounds message. Okay. There is no room in this direction. Why did it still play this? Destination location. No text. The room, the destination room ID is, and that's 8, I believe, was the variable I had for that. Yes. Okay. Cancel, just a second. What was the other thing I wanted to check? Here, resetting the array. Feel like it played too soon. Okay. Okay, 2. So entrance is in position 2. Wait a minute. These variables and these variables, this variable, I'm finding the variable, but the variable doesn't mean what I thought it did. Oh, that's a serious issue. Wait, why didn't it? Sorry, I think I'm just getting tired. I said some things that didn't make any sense at all in that previous test, so let's just look at it one more time. Yeah, I've been counting this wrong. This is the issue. 0, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are in 9 currently for entrance. Yeah, I've been referring to this array wrong this entire time. Oh boy. How many issues is that going to cause? The corrected room ID is 1, current index is 0, value of 0 is 13. Okay. We have to go to 9. 2. Oh, well, I don't have to count because it's going to be this, so it's going to be 8. 8 is going to be 1, right? Eight is 1. Okay, good. The destination room ID is 5. Okay. Yeah, so I was counting it wrong, and I think we hit an out of bounds or something, and that's why we got the wrong message. Yes. Okay. Good. I think here, doing my happy run around in squares, because we can't run in circles. Okay, so I think we have it working. Maybe. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff that we need to do before we can really know for sure. But, whoops. Let's quickly add some distinguishing features for all of these rooms. Whoops. Do we not have an interior book kind of thing? I guess there isn't one. Okay. That's fine. Then we'll just go to events, image, and we're just going to do something book-ish. I'm gonna have to import a graphic for that, I guess, because there does not appear to be an option in here for a book, not for dungeon anyway. All right. So with that in mind, for now, here, this can be a book. Tome, treasure. Oh, that's easy enough. Treasure. This is just marking what the rooms are so that we can tell easily. Go. Boss, we'll just put a big scary dragon statue. We'll put the hero statue for teleporter. And then for monster, we'll just put We'll just put this center here to show the monster rooms. I should probably have a way of differentiating these because I need to know that it's the correct monster room. Alright. So now that we have that set up, I should be a little bit concerned that I was thinking about the array wrong this entire time, but it seems to be working now that I'm thinking about it right, which means that I did something right when I was programming it initially. I don't know. Anyway, if we are 12, this is not what we're looking for. We are not in position 12. That's the opposite of how this works. This is saying that room 12 is in position 1. Room 1 is in position 5, so we can't go north. In fact, you know what? Let's not even think about anything else. Let's see what happens if we go north, because we should have error testing that'll prevent us from doing this. Current room ID. Okay. So 4 should be 1. It is. Room ID out of bounds. We don't teleport. Beautiful. That is so beautiful. Actually, I didn't need to reset. I could have just left and talked to the boy again to get the variables. Okay, 1 is still relatively near the beginning. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in position 7. We should be able to go anywhere. All right. What is position 6? Position 6 is the exit. Okay. So if we go this way, blah, blah, blah. Out of bounds. But we still went there. Why did it say out of bounds? We did find the exit as expected. So that's good. So there's something wrong with my error checking now. Maybe. Well, this is going to be quite a long part, but there's actually still a bunch of stuff that I want to be doing. So I think the next step here, we're going to... Okay, let's not do that. Let's have an event instead. Initialization. So what we want to do here now is we want to set it so that if there are out of bounds, it should just block off the entire area. Okay. So an easy way to do this then, we're going to check where are we in this grid again. Whoops. Let's not do plugins. That's a little bit more advanced than what we want here. Right, so we have... no, we don't want to do all of that. What am I... I guess we do, actually. Copy. I wonder if that's going to work. Did. Okay. More friendly than DrawedScript in that sense. There was a separate copy and paste command you needed in Drawed for this sort of thing. All right, so current location equals map ID. We're going to correct it. We're going to do the array. We're going to find the array value. And at the end of all of this, what do we end up with? We end up with our array index. Okay. Which is going to be a number from 0 to 19 corresponding to where we are in here. Am I thinking about this right? Yes, because we're looking at the index, which is the order, because the number inside the order is the room ID, but the order itself is the position. Yes, okay. Okay, just make sure I understand what we're doing here. So this means this is probably where I wanted that extra array index plus 1. So we break the loop. At this point, what do we have? We have an array index value. So we're going to copy that, paste. We're going to add 1 because we want it to be from 1 to 20 instead of from 0 to 19. Okay. I might have to go back and add that plus 1 into the previous part again. But no, I don't think I do. Anyway, we're gonna set up a bigger test so that we can see if anything is wrong. So that's the goal here. Okay. Okay, control variables. Right, this, let's just get rid of all these. This was something else I was doing. We do not need individuals. This was like if I wanted to use variables instead of an array, I could have done it this way and just stored every single one of these values in as a separate variable. Since I have an array, this seems kind of silly. So this is going to be north blocked, south blocked, west blocked, and east blocked. I had to pause there because I wasn't entirely sure about west and east. I always get confused on that. Everybody knows that the 4 cardinal directions are north, south, left, and right. You know what? Since it'll be easier for me, let's just do that. We don't need to be consistent. We need to be what's going to be easily understood. So north, south, left, and right. There we go. The 4 cardinal directions. So north blocked. This isn't what we want to do here. We want a conditional branch if variable array index equals 1. I want it to be in a range if it equals 1 to 5, but I guess there are ways we can do that, but cancel, 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 space. There we go. Equals 1. All right, so before we muck around with this at all, let's initialize these 4 variables to 0. This is going to be very important that we do this now. And this is more variable initialization. If array index equals 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, we want that there. North is blocked. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5. 2 equals 3 equals 4 equals 5. Okay. If it equals 1, we also have left blocked. And here, 5 will have right blocked. Okay. If it equals 6, then we want left blocked. And if it equals 11, also left blocked. If it equals 10, then we're going to have right blocked or 15. And then we're going to have 16, and that's going to be south blocked. 17, 18, 19, 20. And 16 is also going to be left blocked. And 20 is also going to be right blocked. Okay, and I'm actually going to just change something here. And I'm just going to put temp in front of all of these because these are variables, any temp variable, that tells me that I can reuse it in multiple areas without causing problems. Okay. So what we've done here, for auto run, so initialization, when we first get here, an auto run, and then finally control self switch A on at the very end, new event page, self switch A is on, do nothing. Okay. So that we don't have this auto running forever. So now, what this should do is when we first enter this room, it should check to see if any of these are blocked. Now, what we're actually going to do here I guess this is pretty heavily implying that we can't just use the same event for everything. If where is variable Okay, so what am I wanting to do here? If. Here's where we find game data. Okay. No. Okay, never mind. We'll save it. That's fine. I was thinking what we could do is we could check the ID of this event, the location of this event, to see if it was which of the four corners it was in. I still think there's a way we can probably do that where I don't have to have separate north, south, east, and west events. I would like all of these to be the same event, ideally. Hmm. Well, maybe I'll worry about that later. It's like all the facing stuff I was doing was designed to make it so that these were just easily dealt with that way. But I guess we are going to we're just going to accept the fact that this is the north one for now. We'll see about doing a more clever way of doing things in the past. Speaking of clever way of doing things, I actually just realized something. Temp north blocked. These should have been switches, not variables. It doesn't really matter. But I am going to go through and fix it. Okay. So now if we go into the initialization, we actually want control switch, temp lock off. Delete all of those. And then we're just converting all of these. That's fine. If it's on, oh no, we set it to on. All right. Left blocked. On. Right blocked. I missed a left blocked as well. And then finally, south blocked. The fun part of programming, aside from, all of the other parts. I actually do find this to be incredibly satisfying. Alright, so I've switched all of those to switches. Start off by default. We're only turning on as we go down. Okay, so now transfer north. If switch temp north blocked is on, control self switch A. Right, because you don't do anything like that. Okay. And this is going to be auto run. New event page, self switch A is on. And image is going to be that. Same as characters, trigger, action, whatever. None. It doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. Okay. So now what we've done is we've set it up so this should automatically be blocked if we're in the north. Okay. And this is on auto run, but then it self-destructs at the end with that self switch A, which should mean, because we only need to run this once on auto run, this also is on auto run. If it's blocked, it just shuts itself off. Otherwise, it won't. And this is only being active if north is active, which will only be the first time you enter the room it'll check. Because after that, it won't check again, and it'll have everything set to off. Potential problem with this, okay, is that this ID is earlier than this ID, which means that, but we want this one to check first. No, it should be okay because, yeah, this isn't going to do anything. It's just going to be sitting here until this is changed, at which point it will change. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay, transfer left. We do capitalize. Okay, I am going to do at least that much consistency. Well, actually, I should delete these. Left temp, left blocked. Okay. This will be much faster. Right, temp right blocked. And finally, south, temp south blocked. All right, still running. Then in this case, let's just see if that's even going to do anything. One, where is 1? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, that's no good. We're gonna have to re-go here. There's a 6 in 20, or a 30% chance that this isn't gonna work. Okay, but this time it did work. Okay. So in 4, north should be blocked, right? Oh, I have all of my... Right, I need to remove those comments. Okay, so that should be done. I think I can remove these for now. Yeah, room is out of bounds. Okay, yeah, so something didn't go right there. Right, because I copied this script, so it's going to do this again. Interval var equals 0. Hmm. You know, it would probably be better to play this during the transfer event. That would make more sense. Okay, well, I know it didn't work, but I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to it while I'm in here. Okay, that's going to be position 19, so south should be blocked. Current room ID is 4. Oh, wait, I'm going to have to go through all of this. Okay, current room ID is 4. That is correct. Corrected room ID is 1. That is correct. Array index is 0. Yes. Okay, we're looking for 1, so it's going to be 18 that we'll go all the way up to. $18 is 1. Good. Okay, that's what we wanted. Nothing happens. Okay. So what happens here? Break loop, then we go to here, set all of the switches to be off. Array index goes on. Actually, I can't remember. Do these play left to right, or do they play right to left? That might be the issue. It might be a case of copy event page, paste event page, copy event page, paste event page. Whoops. Copy event page. Paste comes after. Okay. I think it's the later one in sequence. So if that's the case, this should be fixed 25% of the time, which isn't great odds. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Yep. Easy enough to do. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Copy, paste, copy, paste. So if I had the order wrong, and it's always that the later ones are the ones that are checked, or that have priority. 1 is in a tricky spot. 13. Nope. Try it again. That doesn't look like a good spot again. 12. It's trolling me. 30% chance on every one of these attempts that this won't work. It's the thing with randomness. 4, okay. Alright, I still have all these messages. There we go. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. So that's what I was wanting to test. So now we almost have the system set up. This is exciting. Let's delete all of these messages because they slow things down a lot. Could not find the current room ID. That's going to be left in there because that is a situation that should never ever show up. So if that does show up, that means something went horribly wrong. Okay. Likewise, there is no room in this direction. These should never show up because the event should be blocked. So we can remove that. There's no text in either of those. Okay. So we're removing some of this. That's fine. Go to here. Room ID is nope. Correct. Nope. Current array. Nope. Value. Nope. Could not find. We'll leave that one. ID out of bounds. We'll leave those, although they should never show up anymore. Okay. So the final thing that we want to do, I'm going to take this initialization event. Yeah, it's getting the map ID. We're going to copy this and we're going to paste it into every one of these rooms. We're going to have to do this a whole bunch more times. And this is why I wanted to have the orientations done independently so that I could just copy this event 4 times in each room instead of having to do it this way. But it's okay, it's not that much work. But that would have been a good optimization from a programming perspective. All right, next up here, copy and paste. In fact, what I should really be doing is using common events for all of these. Because as it stands, if I have to modify one of these now, I'm going to have to go back through and copy it everywhere. Whereas if I save it as a common event, I would just have to change the common event and then it would be fine. It's just one of those things where the more you do, more of this programming you do, the better you're going to get at it, and eventually things will be easier. I already have a couple of failed projects that I've made in RPG Maker that will never see the light of day, and I've improved so much since I've started using this. Now, in this particular project, it might not seem that way, but I'm doing some pretty advanced by my standards stuff here as far as getting this set up. Once I have the dungeon randomizer fixed, working, I guess, then this should get much, much simpler. Much, much simpler. Okay. Save. So now, we're going to just hope this is working. We're not even going to talk to the kid. We're just going to go in here and see what happens. Okay, it would appear we are in the bottom corner. Okay, oh, treasure room. That's nice. Another treasure room. Room ID out of bounds. Monster room. Okay. Pause for concern there. Something weird happened with the scripting. Room ID out of bounds. This is the teleporter room. I think it might be my error check that has an error, because this seems like it's kind of working. Found the teleporter room. Okay, another monster room. Another monster room. Another monster room. We're in the corner. Home room. Monster room. Monster room. More monsters. More monsters. Boss room. That was right next. Yeah, okay. So the error check looks like it's just off by 1. Okay. And this is the second tome room. More monsters. Is there anything that I'm missing? Oh yeah, exit, of course. Monster, and then down here, monster, monster, and that's it. Okay. Alright, so we have a randomly generated room. Proof of concept, or randomly generated dungeon. Proof of concept. We're going to do this again and see if we get a different layout. Well, we're somewhere in the middle. Let's go north. We're still somewhere in the middle. Found a treasure room. Okay, there's a monster room. Monster room. Okay, so we started in 12. Okay. Teleporter. Monster. Boss. Monster. Monster. Home. Monster. Tome. Monster. 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 It occurs to me I should have actually put the indicator off to the side so that I don't have to run around it all the time, but that's fine. Monster. Monster. Exit. Treasure. Monster. Okay. Well, that's very exciting. Okay, so we have a working, randomly generated dungeon in RPG Maker. Now, obviously, these rooms aren't very exciting yet, and I'm going to be differentiating them all. Like 12 monster rooms are all going to look different from each other. They're all probably going to have different monsters in them. All of these rooms need, a heavy makeover here to make this into an actually interesting game. But as far as the underlying programming framework goes, I'd say that this is a success. Okay, could not find room ID. What is going on with this? Was that the error? What specifically was the error that we were getting? Was it find room ID? I think it was out of bounds, wasn't it? Okay, again, we're in the middle somewhere. Monster to the north. Statue, okay. Room ID out of bounds. Okay. Okay, haha. We have found all kinds of bugs. Wonderful. Okay, well, I know what's causing this bug. I know exactly what's causing that bug. It's getting kind of late. I don't know how much longer I want to keep doing this, but I definitely want to fix the bugs that I know about, or at least I'll mark them down in my document, and then we can start from there next time. Because that definitely needs to be fixed. I know exactly what the issue is, though. The fact is that these check every time you enter the room, or these check continuously to see if you have any blockage, whereas these only set the variable. Well, you know what? Since I'm thinking about it, I know how to fix this. I said I know how to fix this. Before we do this, let's add a weight. Wait 1 second. Before we do this, and then we reset it. We reset it so that they're all off before we turn this off. And that way, by default, everything will be off when we go into a new room. But when we go into here, and this is on, I wonder. This might not work actually, because we have them all set to auto run. Okay, so if I go south, is it gonna block? It is, yep. Yeah, because these will be fine. And if I do this, yeah, yeah. So I think the issue now is that because these are on auto run, you're only going to have one auto run at a time. I think I want this to be a parallel process so that it will run this whole thing. And then wait a second here, which will give these time to do their thing. Okay. We're going to keep going north until we hit the north. Now when we go south... No, it's still buggy. Okay, well, I think maybe this is something I'm going to fix next time, because this has been over 2 hours already. But I do know... Like, the issue with the way that I set this up is that it's checking to see if it's blocked. And if it is, it seals forever, and it will never unseal. And that is good. That is what we want. However, this is also checking this is also checking continuously every time we enter the room. And because we're using the same variable every time, the same switch every time, if the switch hasn't reset before we've entered the room, yeah, see now the better thing to do than instead of what I just did. Okay, no, the better way to do this, yeah, is to have this on auto run. And then in every single one of these variables, when it says transfer player, before we do that, we want to set all of the switches off. Which means that we need to copy all of these events again in all of these locations. Okay, so I'm just going to make a note of that. Here, the very end, additional task for the day, whatever. We'll figure this out. Just figure this out next time. Okay, so here we're going to put development goals for 2 weeks ago, whatever. It's taking a while, but I'm only doing this like an hour or two a week, so I guess that's to be expected. We'll just do bugs. Get rid of the underline there. Hashtag bugs. Get rid of the bold. Okay, and this is the list of things to fix. So what did we just discover here? Transfer events in dungeon rooms. Check for being blocked every time the room is entered. The 4 switches dealing with blockedness. It's a word. Care what they tell me, it's a word. The 4 switches dealing with blockedness should be reset during room transfer events in order to prevent blockages from forming incorrectly. Okay. That was one. Also, room out of bounds error message seems to be playing when it shouldn't be. The rooms do actually connect correctly, so it's an issue with the error message itself. Okay. We have 2 bugs to fix next time. I would fix them now, but I'm just, like I said, I'm getting pretty tired. It's been about 2.5 hours now. Let's just update this. Which will send us 2 bugs to be fixed. Save. Okay. But anyway, that was very good progress for today. I mean, it took a while, but, you know, we have what we set out to do like 2 weeks ago. Or last week, I guess, when I actually got around to recording, because I didn't even record the first week I meant to. So as long as we don't repeat a room, we should be fine. Wait. Was there a blockage on the south there? I don't think there was. Okay, there's all sorts of things going wrong now. Can we go up? 2, 3, 4. Oh no, we can. So there was a blockage on the south. Maybe it just wasn't playing? I don't know. Yeah, so why wasn't this an issue before? Because it's only modifying them the first time I enter the rooms. Okay. Anyway. I think that's going to be it for this time. So we will continue with the development next week at 8 p.m. Korean time on Sunday. I actually have a lot of free time. I might do additional streams throughout the week. It doesn't really matter when I do these, because obviously I haven't announced this to anybody and I don't really have anybody watching, but yeah, maybe I'll step it up and do this more than once a week. I'll just get some more work done while I have some time. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I will see you next time for whatever it is that we end up doing then.